All right. So how are you guys doing? Welcome to the beginner's Korean class. I see I don't, all of you are in the WhatsApp group chat, right? Yeah, that chat room blowing up. Yeah, so we're just gonna start right away. I don't know if there's a lot of material, but we're gonna learn like the fundamentals of the Korean language or any language, right? The fundamentals of any language are the alphabets. So today we're just gonna learn the alphabets of Korean, which is called Hangul. Okay, Hangul. So Hangul in English it means the great script. And so just a little history lesson. Before the 1400s, like Koreans they were illiterate. Only like the nobles and like the really high ranking people only they knew how to write. Um, because Koreans they didn't have their own language system in place, like their own writing system. So uh, they like in Korean like Chinese characters and Japanese characters, you gotta learn a lot of like characters, and it's very complicated. So many of like the regular people they didn't know how to write. So during like the mid 1400s, there was a king. His name was King Sejong, and he made this um, this Hangul, just Korean alphabet, and to be very simple so that everyone can learn it. So the Korean alphabet they consist of 14 consonants and 10 vowels. So that's 24 letters total, right? So that's even less than the English alphabet, I think, which is like 26, 27 letters, right? So, and it's very easy to write in Korean. So we regard that king as very great because, he made this language and we even use it till today, right? So it's called Hangul. Okay, and we're gonna start right now. So first we're gonna go over the 14 consonants, and in Korean, consonants they're called the chaum. Okay, chaum is the Korean for consonants. And if you see here, you might notice that I'm not using the romanization. Using romanization when learning Korean is that it's very bad, for studying in the long run because then you will keep relying on romanization. And also, if you use romanization, it's not really 100% accurate to the language because that's like English pronunciation. And so at first I added the romanization to the PowerPoint, but then I took it out because for you guys. Okay. And so yeah, you don't have to worry about capital or lowercase. There's no capital letters in Korean. Okay, so we're just gonna start with the consonants, the chaum. Okay, the chaum. There's 14 of them. Okay, all right. So you guys can see the screen perfectly, right? No
Yes.
obstacles. Okay. All right. So this is the first letter in the Korean alphabet among the consonants. It's called kiyo. Okay, kiyo. Okay. Kiyo. Yes. If you want to unmute yourself and follow along, you can do that as well. Okay. So kiyo. Kiyo. And if you notice over here on the top right corner, so and in the Korean language, there's specific like ways you have to write the letters. So this is just showing you, right? So number one, right? Just this one smooth motion, just boom, boom, right? So kiyo. So this is how you write it. On the top right, it's gonna be on every slide. That's how you write the letter. Okay, there's specific ways you have to write the letter. Okay, again, so this is kiyo. Okay, and when you make syllables with this, make letters. I mean, these are letters. I mean, syllables. They make this kiok. It makes the ku sound like a G, like a ku. Right? And there's also something called a pachim. Later on, we'll learn it. Like if you ever seen Korean letters, they'll have like consonants on the bottom, right? And so that's what this K is from. So initially, the initial letter, if it comes in the top first, then it will make the ku sound, the G sound. And then if it's on the bottom, then it'll make like the K sound. Right? So like let's say like a I'm just gonna say syllable like kok, kok, right? So if you I'll type it out actually. Let's say where's the annotate? Oh no. Okay, I guess someone disabled the annotation. All right, so I'll get that later. All right, so it makes initially it'll make the G sound, and the final sound it'll make is the K sound. So just keep that in mind for now. You'll understand it more once we get through all the letters, and we go into writing the syllables. Sorry, Patty, I'm gonna mute you. There's just some background noise. Yes, thank you. All right, so next letter is niun. Okay, niun. Niun.
Niun.
Niun.
Niun.
Niun.
Niun.
Yeah, niun. And if you notice this is basically just like the flipped version of kiok, right? Just a flipped version. So niun. Okay, and it makes the N sound. N. Okay, so when you write syllables, it makes the N sound. So this is niun. And this is how you write it on the top right. Okay, niun.
Niun.
Niun. Right, and we're gonna move on to the next one here. Okay, and then this is T-good.
Digut.
T-good.
Digut.
T-good. And this is this makes the D sound. Like T. T. And then initial sound is T, like the D sound. But then the final sound it will make is like a T. You know in the English word that, right? That. The end, the last T is not actually like a T, right? It's like it's kind of like muted. I don't know how to say it. Like that.
Yeah.
It's not really like a really strong T sound.
That.
It's like that, right? That,
Right.
right? So that's the kind of sound the final sound will make, the T-good sound. And so initially, if it comes out on top, and it'll make the T sound, the D sound. But then the final sound it will be like the T sound, not really emphasized, but just like the word that. That's how it would be, the final T. Okay. So this letter is T-good.
Digut.
Digut.
T-good. Right. And this is how you write it. So you draw the first line on the top first, going to the right, and then you'll make like a niun on the bottom. Right.
Right.
So I'm gonna move on to the next one. Right. So this is lir.
Lil.
Lir.
Lil.
Lir.
Lil.
Ur. Lir.
Lil.
It's okay. Lir. Like Koreans, they have a lot of trouble pronouncing R's and V's.
Right.
The reason being is because in the Korean alphabet, there are no sounds like R and V. So if you tell a Korean person to say like world, it will be very funny, you know. Yeah, so this is Lir. It makes the L sound, like a L. Okay, so this will typically replace the R sound in English. Okay, so Koreans use this Lir to replace like the R from English because we don't have R's. Okay, so this is Lir. And it makes the L sound, like a L. And how you'd write it, it's on the top right corner. So the homework for today actually is just practicing writing. So I think it's pretty simple. You guys can follow the instructions. 1, 2, 3, right? So this is Lir. Okay. I'll move on to the next one here. Okay. This is Mium.
미음.
미음. Mium. And this makes like the M sound, like a M. M.
마.
Right? So, mium.
미음.
Mium.
미음.
Mium. All right. This one, move on to the next one. Okay, this one is called piup. Okay, piup. Piup. And this one, initially it will make like a B sound, like a B sound. But then the final sound it will make, if it's on like the bottom, the 받침, it will make like a P sound, like a P. Right? So initially it will make the B sound, B. But then in the final sound it will be P.
Okay.
So
Can you see the name of that one again, please?
yeah, this is piup. 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 Yeah, piup. So piup makes the B sound initially and the P sound finally. All right, we'll move on to the next letter here. All right, this is called 시옷.
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 Also, this is the same. Initially, it'll make like an S sound, like a S, right? Or a sh, like an SH. But the final sound it'll make is just like the same as what we did before, like the word that, right? That at the end, that's the kind of sound it'll make at the end. And so this is 시옷.
시옷.
시옷. 시옷. So I'm going to move on to the next consonant. Okay, this is called 이음.
이은.
이음. 이음. So this letter, initially it will be silent. This is like the silent consonant, right? But let's say you put this on the bottom. Let's say you put it on the 받침 when you're writing syllables, then it will have a sound. It will have like the NG sound, like a sound. Okay. And so this is like this is silent initially. But then if you put it on the bottom, the 받침, then it will make like a sound, like a NG sound. Okay,
I have
so
a question.
Yeah.
So the form in the upper right-hand corner seems more like it's handwritten, and the big one in the middle of the screen seems more like it's a print version. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is just a different like style of it. So, but it's like the same letter.
So my main question is, when we're practicing writing these characters, should we practice trying to make them look more like the print version that's bigger in the middle, or more like the upper right-hand corner?
It's up to you, I guess. Whatever like you like to do. I mean, you don't have to add this little, I don't know what you call this, horn. Like when you're actually writing, no one really adds this little horn on the iung. They just draw a circle.
Okay.
So if it's more comfortable to do it this version, the print version, then you can go ahead. But then there's some consonants that you would like to do the top right version. Like I think that's coming up next actually.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so this consonant is iung. Okay, iung. Iung. So I'm gonna move on to the next consonant, and just like what Colin was talking about, this is different right here, right? This is called 지읒. Okay, 지읒. This is 지읒. So the print version that you see right here is actually like a more like a formal version of the letter. This is usually what most people use, the top right corner one. And so for this one, I would just recommend you using the practice writing the top right corner one. This one is just kind of formal. Okay, and this chiut makes the J sound, like a J. Okay, like a J sound, chiut. And the final sound, if you put on the bottom, just like the two other letters before, like which one? So this is like that. Okay, it will be the similar ending to the word that. Okay, so chiut. Chiut. Okay. Again, for this one, I recommend just following the top right corner. Okay.
Can you say the name of that one again, please?
Yeah, it's chiut.
Okay.
Chiut.
Chiut.
Right. Next one. This one is called chiut. 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 And this one also, just like the same with chiut, which is the previous consonant, I also recommend just practicing the top right corner one, like how they write it over here.
So this one, when you say it, it sounds to me a lot like the last one. So is this one more of a CH versus like a subtle J of the last one?
Yeah, so the last one is chiut,
Yeah.
like a J, and this one's like a CH, like a chiut.
Chiut and Chiut. Okay, I think I got it.
and Chiut.
So chiut, okay, this one is the chiut, and the previous one is chiut. So there's like a J, and then this is like a CH. And also, if you put this on the pachim, as a pachim, it will make same ending like what we were talking about, like the word that. Similar to the ending of the word that. Okay, so chiut. All right, we'll move on to the next consonant. All right, this one is, sorry, this is called kiyo. 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 Okay. So this makes like a K sound. You know, like the Korean last name Kim. That's the sound they will make. Okay, so K. So Kiyo. Kiyo. It makes like the K sound, like the K sound. Ki. Kiyo. Kiyo. All right, we're getting close to the end of consonants. Next one is tear. 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 And this just makes the T sound, initial and final.
So I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like tear or tear? Because I'm a little confused between the both.
I think it's tear.
Yeah, sorry. I was reading my notes. Tear. Yeah, you're right.
Tear, right? Okay.
Tear.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Tear. Yeah, tear. Yeah, I was getting kind of confused reading my own notes too.
Tear.
Yeah, tear.
Okay.
Yeah, tear.
Un.
Tear. like a
Tiet.
tiut.
Sometimes it's difficult when you say the names of the consonants. It's difficult for me to hear the subtle, like, end of it.
Yeah. So since it's hard for people to hear, if you're not speaking, can you guys like mute yourself, and then when you're like trying to follow along, then you guys can follow. Like unmute yourself and follow. I think it's because like a lot of the sounds are overlapping.
Right.
Yeah.
네, 맞아요.
Okay. So this is tiut. Okay, tiut.
Tiet.
All right. And this is the next one. This is called piup.
Piu.
Tiet. Tiet.
Piup.
Piet.
Piup.
Tiet.
Tiet.
Yeah, so the initially, I think around the beginning, we learned piup, which is the B sound. Sounds similar, right? But this is the P sound. This is piup. Piup. Okay.
I have a question. When
Yes.
we're writing this one, should we connect the columns? Or
Yeah.
Yeah?
You should connect it.
Thank you.
All right. So this makes the P sound. Okay. P. So piup.
I have a quick question for you.
Mhm.
So in English, when we, state the letters of the alphabet, everybody knows A, B, C, D, E, F, blah, blah. So are the order that you're giving us these, is that like an official order? Kind of like how we have an official order, sort of, in English?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is kind of like the official order.
excellent.
All right. This is the last consonant in the alphabet, the Hangul. Okay. This is called hiut.
Tiet. Tiet.
Hiut.
Tiet. Tiet.
So this is this makes kind of like the H sound. Hiut.
Tiet.
Hiut.
Piu.
Tiet.
Hiut.
Tiet.
Okay. All right.
Why do the writing look different?
And so they're just different styles of writing. You know how like usually when you type, the most classic example would be like the letter A. I don't know why I can't like type here. I think someone disabled it. You know how like the letter A, there's like the E simpler way and like the more formal version of the A. You know what I'm talking about? There's the one with
Yeah.
like tail on top.
Person? So like calligraphy?
Yeah. So that's just different styles of writing. Just like English, you write A, just write A, and then there's the simple A, and there's also the A with like the tail on top. You
Is
know,
it like a font?
yeah, so it's just kind of like that. It's just different style of writing. So if it's easier to connect the line, like the printed version in the big one here, then you can practice writing it like that. Or you can separate.
Otherwise, like on the diagram, you can write it 2 lines and then the circle on
Yes.
the bottom.
So you can choose to connect it or you can choose not to. I'll accept both.
And if you draw it in the print form with the line on top, that's pretty normal too.
Yeah. All right. So that was the last of the consonants. Okay. So this is all the consonants just in one. Okay. So kiok. Okay. The first one we learned was kiok.
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 And then there's niun.
Niun.
Niun. Niun. And then there's tigut. Tigut. This makes like the D sound. And then there's leer. 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 This is like the L sound. This letter usually replaces the R in the English alphabet, because there's no R sound in the Korean alphabet. Okay, and the next one is mium.
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 And this makes the M sound. Okay, so mium. The next one is piu.
Piu.
This is like the B sound. Okay, piu.
I have a question. So it sounds to me, in Korean, it sounds like the B and the P are very similar. Do you have any tips for trying to differentiate between the two?
Yeah, so for the piu and the piu, it's just you just gotta emphasize it, I guess. Like for the piu, since it makes like a P sound, just emphasize the P sound more, like piu and piu. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just emphasize and de-emphasize. So that's piu. Okay, and then the next one is shiu. Shiu. This makes like the S sound, or in certain circumstances, it can also make the SH sound. So shiu. Okay. Next one is iung. 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 Yes. So iung. And this is like the silent consonant unless it's put on the bottom as a patchin. So iung. Okay. Next one is chiut. Chiut. The J, like a J sound. Okay. Chiut. Yes. And the next one sounds similar, but this is like the CH. This is chiut. 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 And then next one is kiut. K sound. Kiut. Yes, so this one sounds similar to like kiok, right? And this is, you just gotta emphasize this one more, like kiok. Kiut. Sorry. Kiut. Okay, kiok. Kiut. Okay. And the next one is tiut. Tiut. So tiut. This makes like the T sound. So tiut. Okay. Next one is piu. Piu. Sounds similar to the piu. Okay, piu. This is piu.
Very similar.
So piu. The last letter of the consonant. This is piut. Piut. This makes like the H sound. All right. So now that's it for the consonants. We're gonna move on to the vowels now. The vowels are simpler than the consonants because they don't really have like names, it's just the sound. The vowels just make the sound. Right? So there are 10 vowels in the Hangul, and they're called moum. Moum in Korean.
10 vowels.
Moum.
How do you say consonants again?
Chaum.
Chant.
Chaum. And then vowels are moum.
More.
Mo.
Moum.
Mom.
Yeah, so if you see here, they're just vowels that we haven't learned yet. So we're just gonna go over those right now. All right. So the first vowel in Hangul is a. So a. Okay. So this is a. And then this is ya.
Yeah.
So a, and then ya. So the only the difference between these two is just this ya has 2 lines coming out the side, and then a just has 1. So a, ya. So a, and then ya. And similar thing for the next 2. This is o. O. Next one is yo. Yo. So o, yo. O, yo. Okay. So there's a, ya, o, yo. All right. Next one is o. O. And next one, yo. So o, yo. So o, yo. Next one is u. And then you. Okay. You. And so you. So to make syllables, you know how each to make a syllable you have to have at least 1 consonant and 1 vowel, right? And so if you add the consonant iung, right, the circle iung, it's how I mentioned it's silent. If you put that on, if you add that iung with uyu, u and you, you know what that means in Korean? It means milk. Yeah, uyu means milk. So there you learn the word. So uyu. Uyu. And then there's the last 2. This is Yeah, like right? And then the next one is e.
Like tree.
So e. And that's it for the vowels, actually. The vowels are much easier than the consonants.
Right.
And so this is a, ya, yo, yo, you, E. Mhm. So a, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e.
E.
Should I go faster? So if you go really fast, this is a, ya, o, yo, u, you, e. And so like the vowels, they just kind of like partner with each other, right? So a, ya, a and ya will be like one set. O, yo will be one set. O, yo will be one set.
Oyo.
U, you would be like one set. E would be like another. Yeah. So fairly easy. There's not much difference between like these sets, other than you just gotta add a second line to it, right? So all of it is basically got at the second line except for E. So we just got like tilted over. Okay, so a, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e.
E.
Aya, oyo, uyu, uyu, e.
Close. It was the, you messed up on the almost got it perfect.
Can you say them one time without anyone talking, please?
So a, ya, o, yo, u, you, e.
Ya,
Yeah.
yo,
Aya,
oyo,
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 e.
E. Ir.
Ya, oyo, oyo, uyu.
Can you
Yes, was there a question?
can you sound the differences again between the first o, yo, and o, yo? The
Oh yeah. So these four right here. So this is a,
right.
a, and then ya, and then o,
O,
and then yo.
o, yo. I'm having trouble with o, yo, and then the ones after that.
The o, yo.
O, so it's
O.
more rounded.
O, yo.
Oreo.
O, more rounded.
I do have a question. Or actually, I don't have a question, but the second set, the O and the O, yo, those ones are so similar. So can you by yourself say it again for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is o, yo, o, yo.
O, yo. So
So a,
o, okay.
ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e. Yes. And so the things that we learned today, they're actually just like the basic consonant and the vowels. There's actually in Korean, there's the double consonants and double vowels. Okay. So we'll learn those tomorrow actually. And so I'm just gonna let you know that this is not it. It's not the finish line.
So I think for me the second group and then the third group, I feel like for me personally seem like extraordinarily similar. I'm having trouble differentiating the sounds there.
They're difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult to pronounce. This first time. You just gotta keep practicing. So I'll say it again. This is all. All. Right. So all.
Like open
so
mouth.
Just like open your mouth. Say all. Right. And then for this one, I'll just skip the yo. So this one o. You gotta push your lips like your lips are o. 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 This is
Yo.
o. You just simply just open your mouth. O. And this is
So it's like
O.
so the first second and third group is more like ah, oh, ooh.
yeah.
Okay.
So o. And then u. Mhm. So ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e.
I understand. It's very difficult to Romanize that.
Yeah. There are romanizations. It's just it's also pronounced. It's hard to pronounce if you read the romanization as well. It's just it would just be like an e o,
Right.
or just like an o. I think I actually the one I had in the presentation, they're basically the romanization of the letters, but they're also the sound of it. So the ones you're confused on, like o, it would just be like an o. And this would be like e o. So there's o, right?
Maybe this is like OH and the other one is like O.
I think maybe.
Like O and O.
O. Yo.
The first one is more
Yo.
wide. Is open your mouth, like say but you say o, like oh.
Mhm.
O.
And so learning like
Oh.
all this, I'm very glad you're all asking questions and like why you're confused at it. Because once you learn these basic consonants and vowels, you can read anything. Like tomorrow we'll learn like the double consonants and the double vowels, but we'll also go over pronunciation rules. You know, like the writing rules when you write letters. And so once you go over all this, even if you don't understand the sentence, you'll be able to read it because it's phonetic. And so let's just go over from the beginning, from the consonants all the way down to the vowels. Okay. And I'll take some volunteers and see if they want to, try it out. All right. So start with the consonants. Okay. This is kiyo,
Yo.
kiyo.
Yo.
Then niun,
Niun.
niun.
Nian.
And then tigut,
Tigut.
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 This might also sound like tigut, right? Like the tigut and tigut. So there's just some letters that sound similar to each other. You just gotta emphasize like the later ones first, more. I mean. So this is tigut,
Tigut.
tigut. Okay, this is leer,
Dear.
Lear.
leer,
Dear.
leer.
I have a quick question for you, Chan.
Mm-hmm.
On the one that we just did before, the D good one, that one?
This one?
Yeah, so you know how in English when we use like a letter D, we kind of like bounce or click our tongue off the roof of our mouth kind of by our front teeth?
Yeah.
So do you do a similar thing when you're making that sound? Because the D and the T do sound very similar, but is it more of a D or a T?
It's more of a duh. So you just like we said when we pronounce the letter D, our tongue hits to like our teeth or the roof of our mouth. It's the same thing. You can do the same thing for this, and I think that would be better actually. So this is D and T good. It makes the same sound.
So it's T good.
T good. Yeah. Perfect.
T good. Okay.
T good.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the leer.
Dear.
Leer. And then next one is mi
Mi.
And then this is piup.
Here.
Like sounds similar to piup. This is the B
Piup.
sound, like piup.
Yep.
So when you say B and P, we say it similarly. It's just we have to de-emphasize when we say piup versus piup. Right. So it's just emphasize piup and piup. So this is piup to make B sound, and this is shiot. So I hear a lot of people saying shiot, like ending with the hard T. So it's not a hard T, it's like a soft T. Shiot. Shiot. So when you end, your tongue should be like on the roof of like against it, like shiot. 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 Right. Next one would be ium. Ium. Like a EUNG. Ium. Ium. Next one is chiut. Chiut. So this is similar to chiut. Chiut. This is CH. This is J. Chiut.
Is this also like a soft T or a little bit harder?
This one is like a soft T. So none of them are like hard T's except for T-good.
Okay.
Yeah. So all of them are just soft T's except for T-good. Okay, so this is chiut, and this is chiut. Chiut. This is kiok. And the ending for this is like a hard K as well. So when you put on the bottom, kiok. Sorry, not kiok. Kiok. Okay, this one is the hard T. This is the tiut. Then this one is piup. And so this is not a hard P. This is like a soft P. Like piup.
Is there a batching for that letter?
Is there a what?
A batching for that letter. Or
I'm
no?
sorry. Can you
Like
speak
the
louder?
final sound?
Oh, so this is like a soft P, like piup. So yeah, I don't know why my typing settings is. I would be able to explain it better if I was able to draw it. But if I write this pronunciation in Korean, and there would piup, the ending up, it would have like this piup at the bottom. But then I'll actually fix the settings for tomorrow's class, and I'll explain it more.
So
Turn it off when
does
they're
it? So does end in a soft P or a soft T?
Soft P.
Soft P. Okay.
So this is piup. This is hiut. And when you end with this is also a soft T. Hiut. Hiut. Okay. And so I'm gonna go over the consonants real quick and then go over the vowels, and then I have some announcements at the end of class. Okay, so this is 기역, 니은, 기역, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 비읍, 시옷, 시옷, 이응, 이응, and then this is 지읒, 지읒, 치읒, 치읒. This is sorry. This is 키읔, 키읔, and this is 티읕, 티읕, and then this is 피읍, 피읍, and this is 히읗, 히읗. Right. And
I
we'll
have a
review.
question.
Yeah.
So at the end, when everyone is gone, can you repeat everything so that there's no one talking over
Yeah,
in the
sure. I can do
recording?
that.
Thank you.
All right. So now we're gonna go over vowels. Okay, 모음. This will be pretty quick. 모음. So now that you learned the consonants and vowels, I think you guys will understand this more, right? So 미음 makes the M sound like a M, and this is O. This is the vowel O, right? So if you put that together, that's mo. Mo. And so like I said, 이응, initially, if you put on the top, the initial position, then it's silent. So then, when it's silent, then you just pronounce the vowel. This is right? This is the vowel And then the ending for this syllable is I mean mium, right? Mium. So it makes the m sound. So if you put all that together, iung is silent. This is and then m. So this right? 모음. 모음. All right. So the vowels. The first one is right? Ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, e. So that would be ya, o, yo, o, yo, I mean, sorry, u, then you, e. Yes, so that's the basic alphabets of Hangul. Okay, and then just for announcements, if any of you guys are interested in becoming like a TA, teacher's assistant, we're gonna open a registration for that later on. It's gonna be posted on the website. So if any of you guys are interested, what a TA does, they just they grade assignments, they take attendance, and that's about it, right? So if you don't have anything to do over the summer and you want something to do, then if you guys want to help, you guys can register for TA. I think there's some people in this class that already told me that they want to be a TA because I think Teacher John already mentioned it in the orientation. All right, I wasn't able to attend the orientation, so I don't know what he said there.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
He mentioned it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. So for now, I have like 2 people who volunteered to be a TA. If there's more, if there's anyone else who wants to be a TA, help will be very much appreciated. And so you guys can tell me separately, or you guys can just wait and then just register once that form comes out on the website. Yes, is there a question? Caden?
Let us think about it.
Okay. What about Katie? Katie, do you have a question?
No.
No? Okay. Sorry, you just had your hand raised, so I thought you had a question. All right. So the homework for today is on the Google Classroom. Oh, here it is. So if you haven't joined the Google Classroom yet, this is the code for the Google Classroom. Some people, they emailed me saying they had trouble getting into the classroom. It might be because you're maybe using a school email and they don't support the Google Classroom. So if you have another Gmail or another email that works with Google, I recommend using that one, and then it will most likely work. So just put in this code to join the Google Classroom. I put up the material for today's homework on there. Just like a practice sheet. Okay, so just practice writing according to the steps that were on this slide. If you don't remember, I also put all those steps on the bottom of that material, of that sheet, so you can reference that as well while you're practicing. And so to turn it in, just you can print that out, or you can just write it on a piece of paper, and you just take a picture and send it to my email. And so if you completed it, then I'll just mark it as complete. Okay, and Teacher John, I think he maybe explained the orientation, but there's also like a grading system here. You don't get any like penalties if you get a low grade, but then if you get a good grade, then you get some incentives. Okay. So
Nice.
yeah. So I don't know what kind of incentives. I have to talk to Teacher John about that. I don't know if he explained during orientation.
No, he didn't.
He didn't? Okay. All right. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what kind of incentives there are if you get a good grade, but there will be. But there's also no penalty or if you get a low grade. Yeah. So no penalty.
When will the homework be due?
The homework will be due. I'll set the date. Let's say Wednesday. No. Let's say tomorrow 11:59. So Tuesday 11:59. Okay, that's when the practice, the writing practice sheet will be due.
And we just print it out and take a picture of it and email it to you?
Yeah, and if you don't want to print it out, then you can just get a separate piece of paper and just, just write it. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you also, the word for consonants, you said, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. Is it chaum?
Mhm. Oh yeah, let me just go back to the slide actually. Sorry if you get headache from this. All right, so just like what I explained with moum, right? So this is jiut, right? Jiut makes the j sound, the j sound, and this is the vowel a. So if you put the j and a together, that's cha.
Yeah.
Like cha. And this is the same for moum, the ending here. Iung is silent in the initial position, and this vowel is and the consonant on the bottom is mium, which makes the m sound, the m sound. And so this will be
Chaum.
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 Yeah, perfect. So that's consonants.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's it for today's class. I'm gonna start recording. Maybe I should. Okay, so everyone, can you mute yourself so then I can say all the consonants and vowels so people who watch the recording can hear? Yes. So I'm gonna go over real quick for the people watching the recording. If you want to go, then you guys can go. So thank you so much for attending the first day of the beginner's Korean class. Okay, so if you guys can go, if you want to go, you can go. But if you want to listen to this, then you can stay and listen. Okay. All right. So this first letter of the consonant is 기억. Okay, 기억. And second letter, consonant is 니은. 니은. Okay, 니은. And this is sorry, my voice cracked there. 디귿. Okay, 디귿. So the ending is like a soft T. Okay, 디귿. And this one is 리을. Okay, 리을. This one is 미음. 미음. Okay, 미음. This one is 비읍. Okay, 비읍. It's a B sound. It sounds similar to pi읍. Okay, this is 비읍. Okay, 비읍. This is 시옷. Okay, 시옷. Okay, ending is a soft T. 시옷. 시옷. This one is 이응. 이응. Okay, 이응. This is 지읒. Okay, sounds similar to 치읒. This makes the J sound. Okay, 지읒. Okay, 지읒. This is 치읒. Makes the CH sound. So 치읒. Okay, 치읒. Next one is 키읔. Okay, this makes the K sound. 키읔. Okay, 키읔. And the next one is 티읕. 티읕. Right. Next one is 피읕. Okay, 피읕. Sounds similar to 비읍. This is 피읕. This is 히읗. 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 Makes the H sound. Okay, gonna go over all of those real quick one more time. Is 기역, 니은, 디귿, 리을, 미음, 비읍, 시옷, 이응, 지읒, 치읒, 키읔, 티읒, 피읒, and 히읗. So that's the consonants. So now we'll go over the vowels. So the vowels is 모음. There's 10 of them. First one is 아. Okay, 아. Second one is 야. Okay, so these two are like a pair. 아, 야. Then the second pair is 어, 여. Okay, 어, 여. Okay. Third pair is 오, okay, 오, 요. Okay, 오, 요. 오, 요. And the fourth pair is 우, 유. Okay, 우, U. And the last pair is E. E. Okay, I'm gonna go over those real quick. So this is A, Ya, O, Yo, O, Yo, U, U, E. All right, and this is the Google Classroom code. All right, let's stop the recording.